Welcome to another episode of Autisable Dads, Life with Autism, from a parent's perspective. With each episode, Rob and I talk with media professionals, business owners, and nonprofits to discuss what they are doing to help families get the services they need and how the public perceives autism. We also talk with other autism parents and autistic individuals about their life and autism. Okay, so one of the things that we're always asked, or at least I'm always asked, is if you've ever thought about starting your own podcast, what should I do? Well, we got on Anchor because when we were trying to figure out how to distribute content or how to be able to record easily, Anchor's worked best for us. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors you want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Back in 2010, I wrote an article called "This Makes It All Worthwhile." At the time, my son was 7 years of age, and if you don't know by now, he's autistic. And during that week, a milestone happened that I waited a long time to happen. In fact, I waited forever. Most parents love it when their child starts talking, and that usually happens around 2 or 3 years of age. Well, our son just started to take on the challenge of a 2- and 3-word sentences. Most of the time, he has pointed at something and said what it is. For example, juice or milk means he wants to drink. Pillow blanket means exactly that. He wants his things so he can lay down. Car means that he just wanted to go somewhere. There are a couple of dozen words that he uses to communicate what he wants, and over the past year, the pronunciation of those words has become easier to him. Dialogue, that moment where two people converse, began that past year, but primarily with us asking the question and him repeating the word, or with him saying no. A repeat meaning yes. However, that past week was when 2 examples of dialogue happened. That wasn't just a repeat of what was being said. These were moments that took his thought process from mental to verbal. In short, he created conversation, or at least participated in the appropriate conversation. The first occurrence happened last week, while on the front patio of his grandmother's home. A helicopter was flying low, and he asked, "What is that?" His grandmother answered, "It's a helicopter." He asked again, "What is that?" She answered again, "It's a helicopter in the sky." He looked up into the sky, looking for the sound, then sat back down on the patio furniture. This was the first actual dialogue where he initiated an actual conversation. I was proud to hear about it, but also a bit bummed I wasn't there. Then over the weekend, as I was tucking him in with his pillow blanket, I said, "I love you, buddy." He responded, "I love you, Dad." The appropriate response. While other dads are playing ball with their son or heading out with a group of 6 to 7-year-old boys to an after-game moment at the local pizzeria, having a conversation about what TV shows, games, and baseball or football, my son said he loves me. And that's what makes it all worth it. Thank you for listening to this edition of Autisable Dads, Life with Autism from a Parent's Perspective. More often than not, we tend to talk a lot with other people. This particular edition is just some insight that I share from my perspective. Feel free to reach out to us at autisable.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, as well as several other social media outlets. You can also become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/autisable. Thank you.